What's going on, friends? I'm back to cook another burger of the day from the Bob's Burgers Burger Book. Today's recipe is the Don't Get Crème Fraiche with Me burger. Today's recipe is going to be using a fruit that you wouldn't necessarily think would ever belong coming anywhere close to a burger. This time, we're using blueberries. Before you slap me and tell me I should go to hell, believe it or not, the watermelon burger ended up being one of the best I've made so far. It was so unusual, but so flavorful. So I'm hoping that it's gonna be the same case with this blueberry burger. If not, well, maybe then you can slap me. But I believe in myself, I believe in you guys, and I think we're gonna make a delicious burger. So let's get started and let's start prepping.
George Washington says to get the show on the road.
So first things first, we need to retrieve our blueberries and then give them a good washing before we mash them up. I unfortunately decided to use a fork, but let's be honest, using a potato masher would have made my life a lot easier. If you're new to the channel, I love making things more difficult than they really have to be. But hey, that's more fun, right?
Maybe we should do something actually fun.
Sleep?
So what are we even doing with these mashed up blueberries, you might be thinking to yourself? Well, let me let you in on a little secret. We're gonna be stuffing these into the patty itself after we form the beef into a nice ball of meat. That might sound a little grotesque, and frankly, it might be. Who knows, sometimes these recipes get pretty wild, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to roll the dice to discover something great. The question is, how much do we add to the patty? It's really just up to us.
We have so much power. So much power.
Sure do, Louise, but you know what they say about great power, so I think that's good. And we can move on to hitting the patty with some additional seasonings and breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs are great for making sure all of this moisture that we're adding to the patty won't make it fall apart on us, because that would be heartbreaking. So now let's whip out the flaky salt, followed by my good friend, the ground pepper. Preparing food, at least in my opinion, is therapeutic, and I find myself going on autopilot and zoning out.
Stop what you're doing and look at your sweet-ass children!
True, and I have a lot of work still left to do, so thanks, Gene, even though I have no children. So with my hands covered in latex gloves and my knees bent in the proper lifting position, I am ready to go to town on rolling this meat to make sure everything is coated sufficiently to the way we want it. I can already tell that the breadcrumbs are going to come in clutch for holding everything together, and if we need to, we can always add more as we go along. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible here while folding the mashed blueberries into the meat. It's almost like we're forming a gigantic meatball for pasta. So overall, what is your opinion on mixing fruit into dishes that it seems kind of unusual? Does pineapple belong on pizza? Let me know in the comments. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about fruit going into a beef patty is what I'm getting at.
Wait, are you sure? I think it sort of sounded good.
I'm not gonna lie, it does look a little sketchy. But it's also the new year, 2024. We gotta be willing to roll the dice a little bit more. What kind of goals do you guys have for the year? Do you guys think it's silly to make New Year's resolutions? I'm kind of torn. You know, on one hand, I think that if you're the kind of person that like puts so much emphasis and pressure, if you don't commit and you're not like, you know, dedicated to your goals right at the get-go, like, you know, you roll into February and you've already failed at what you're trying to do, and that causes you to just basically give up on the entire rest of the year, then I think resolutions are silly. I think for someone like me, you know, setting goals and having these resolutions, it's good motivation. Setting these goals and setting these things to strive for in a very compact and organized way can make a huge difference for some people, and that's how it is for me. You know, for this year, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers and I want a video to get over 100,000 views. I mean, is that so much to ask for? Probably. You know, I'm already lucky enough to have a community as great as you guys, but set the bar high, so if you fail, you know, fail only a little bit lower. Anyways, I digress. Back to the burger, over to the stovetop, because this burger is, it's pretty simple. We're gonna actually start cooking it right now.
Okay, so we're doing this. I'll tell my body to stay awake a little longer, and it just will.
Bob, you don't even have to worry about staying awake, because it's about to get electric in here, or at least I'm getting hyped to watch this cooking process unfold. So let's introduce our patty to a piping hot pan or grill. It's like music to my ears. I always find it difficult when cooking these burgers or filming to not be constantly hungry and eating in the background. But I must remain patient, or maybe I should order a pizza while we wait. What do you think?
I will always just have an urge for your burgers. See? Creepy.
We're on the home stretch, so let's finish out this cooking process before toasting up our buns. Now let's give this gorgeous gal a nice flip. Oh, it's looking good. It's probably the right level of done, so let's get it out of here to rest and we can move on to getting our buttery buns into action. Everything is looking so good. All right, so the patty's cooked, the buns are toasted up. I got a bowl of creme fraiche here that I'm mixing up. And this is gonna serve as like our sauce for the burger, and it's gonna be really fresh, earthy, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna balance everything out really well. So all I'm doing here is just slicing up some basil leaves, and I'm gonna mix it into my cream. Simple enough. If I had to rank all of the herbs, I think basil might honestly be my favorite. That's good. This burger is shaping up in a way that it just might be perfect for spring or summer. And now everything is pretty much done. Should we build this burger?
Yes, please.
Yes, now.
All right, bottom bun first, then some leafy greens, followed by the juicy patty, topped with our basil cream, and then completed with the top bun. We swung for the fences, and I do not think we missed. So the burger is done.
I believe her.
I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I say that a lot, I think, but I usually am. I usually am happy with the way, I mean, it's a burger. It's a burger, how can we screw it up that bad? It smells really good. The smell of blueberries comes through. You know, if you ever open up a package of blueberry muffins, you smell those blueberries immediately, and I can smell it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and let's take a bite. This one is very unusual. I like it, but I can't necessarily say why. It has the usual suspects, sweet, salty. That combination is always, you know, a go-to strategy for success when it comes to building a flavor profile. There's probably better ways to make this burger to get the kind of combinations you're looking for. But if you love blueberries, the flavor definitely comes through, and I enjoy it. So what would I rate it? Coming in with a 7.95 out of 10. It's not the best burger in the world, not priority number one, but if you love blueberries, you're gonna like this burger. So there you have it, another burger of the day completed. We are firing on all cylinders. This book is gonna be done before we know it, which makes me sad, but I'm also gonna be pretty excited to move on to different stuff once we're finished. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you don't mind. It helps me with the algorithm, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Peace. Thanks for feasting with me today, and please subscribe if you liked what you saw.